NASA's most restricted room. This is a NASA engineer bravely working to fix a hydrogen leak just hours before the historic Apollo 11 launch. The nerve-wracking part? He's standing 60 meters above the ground, right next to a partially fueled Saturn V rocket. At launch, the Saturn V carried over 2,500 tons of propellant. If that rocket exploded suddenly, the blast would unleash the force of an atomic bomb, fatal to everyone at the launch pad. However, if an emergency like an uncontrolled fuel leak gave them even a moment to react, there was a chance for survival. 12 meters beneath the launch pad lies a place known as the rubber room, a 1960s-era bunker designed to protect astronauts and crew in case of disaster. We've recreated this entire facility, and in this video, we'll explore what's inside the bunker and how a group of 20 people could shelter there for several days. Stick around until the end for a chance to win an exclusive Space Shuttle framed print. Where's NASA's rubber room? If the Saturn V had exploded on the pad, it would have created a fireball half a kilometer wide with temperatures soaring over 1,000 degrees. In the face of imminent disaster, workers at the pad had to reach the bunker immediately and quickly. But the bunker was buried deep beneath the concrete launch pad. So, how did they actually get inside? The crew would first move to Level A inside the mobile launch platform, a massive 2-story structure supporting the Saturn V. When the platform arrived at the pad, a small hatch connected to a structure protruding from the launch pad itself. This structure housed a 60-meter-long slide, beginning inside the platform and descending through the concrete launch pad all the way down to the bunker. At the top of the slide, sprinklers sprayed the crew with water to help them slide down smoothly. Within seconds, they'd accelerate rapidly, plunging into the depths below. At the bottom, they'd land in the rubber room, its walls lined with thick rubber, some sections up to 60 centimeters thick, designed to absorb the energy from any explosion. The rubber at the slide's end was also intended to slow them down, though this didn't always work as planned. During testing, water would pool at the bottom, causing some to slide at breakneck speed. One worker even suffered multiple broken bones crashing into the end. From there, the crew would pass through a massive blast-proof door into the actual bunker. Exploring the bunker. This room has been off-limits for decades, with only a handful of people ever granted access. One thing readily available, though, is a treasure trove of fascinating documentaries on CuriosityStream, the sponsor of today's video. CuriosityStream offers an extensive library of documentaries and series covering science, nature, history, technology, and much more, ensuring there's something for every curious mind. With new content added weekly, you'll never run out of fascinating stories. Subscriptions start at under $5 a month, making it like securing a front row seat to the universe for less than your daily coffee. Watch anytime, anywhere, on your TV, computer, or mobile device. Personally, I've been engrossed in Trajectory Milestones in Space Exploration, which celebrates humanity's greatest spaceflight achievements from Apollo missions to the ISS and the Hubble telescope. For unlimited access to top documentaries and non-fiction series, sign up today at curiositystream.com/primalspace or scan the QR code, then use promo code primalspace for 25% off. NASA's Underground Bunker Tour. After sliding down, the crew would arrive in the rubber room and then move into the blast room, a dome-shaped chamber equipped with 20 seats for the crew to strap into. Built from ultra-thick steel and concrete, this dome could withstand blast pressures up to 500 psi. To put this into perspective, blast pressures become lethal for humans at around 40 psi. To shield occupants from the intense shockwaves, the entire floor floated on 24 giant springs, isolating the room from surrounding concrete and greatly reducing vibration transmission. Explosions could cause accelerations as high as 75 Gs, roughly double what you'd experience in a severe car crash. These springs absorbed most of the force, lowering it to a survivable 4 Gs, keeping the crew safe inside. But a massive blast would generate a shock wave powerful enough to travel instantly down the slide and threaten the crew. That's where the enormous blast-proof doors come in, made of several inches of steel. They sealed the crew inside and protected them from shockwaves. These doors locked securely from either side by turning a wheel that engaged 8 giant pins locking into the walls. NASA's CO2 scrubber and life support. Once sealed inside, the crew would remain strapped in, waiting for danger to pass. With up to 20 people in a sealed space, carbon dioxide levels would quickly rise, making breathing difficult. To solve this, a CO2 scrubber in the room filtered the air by capturing CO2 molecules and releasing clean air back into the room. Oxygen was replenished by oxygen candles burning iron powder and sodium chlorate at 600 degrees Celsius to produce oxygen. Each candle, weighing about 1 kilogram, provided roughly 6 hours of oxygen per person. Nearby was a storage area stocked with food and water. Meals consisted mainly of C rations and K rations. Canned foods developed during World War II, with separate boxes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Each meal included meat, cheese, cereal, fruit, biscuits, coffee, and even cigarettes, supplying roughly 3,000 calories per person daily. The room had an industrial waste bin at its center, and a toilet discreetly placed behind one of the seats, functional, if far from comfortable. Altogether, supplies could sustain the crew for 4 to 5 days, though in most cases they'd only need to shelter for a few hours until toxic fumes dissipated. Escape routes. When it was safe to leave, the crew had 2 escape options. Exiting through the blast door led into a narrow, 360-meter-long tunnel that ended at an air intake building on the launch site's edge. This building housed a giant fan that pulled in clean air and directed it beneath the launch pad. After about a 10-minute walk through a cramped, dark passage, the crew would emerge to freedom. If the tunnel was blocked, they'd return to the bunker and use an alternate exit, a door into a labyrinth of environmental control rooms and corridors beneath the pad leading outside. NASA worried that a massive explosion might trap the crew inside, so an emergency escape hatch was installed atop the blast room. Though this hatch didn't lead anywhere directly, it allowed rescue crews to dig through the concrete and sand above the bunker to reach and free those trapped below. Thankfully, none of these emergency plans were ever needed. Frozen in time. After the Apollo missions ended, the bunker was abandoned, an incredible piece of NASA history left untouched. Over time, the facility fell into disrepair and various animals made it their home. Today, only a select few have access to this relic, which will likely remain sealed for many decades to come. Giveaway announcement. Now for something special. The winner of last month's giveaway is Tony Viglis. Congratulations. In the next video, we'll be giving away this amazing space shuttle framed print. To enter, simply sign up at the link below and leave a comment telling us what you think NASA should do with the bunker now. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.